Hi friends, welcome to Green Coach. This is Varsha Subbarao along with Hottie Buddy welcomes you to Green Coach. Green Coach is an online tutorial for various horticulture subjects. In Green Coach Horticulture online classes, today we are dealing with Agro meteorology. Today we are dealing with air temperature, distribution of air temperature and importance of air temperature. Let's start our today's class without any delay. Temperature. What do you mean by temperature? Temperature is the measure of speed per molecules of all the molecules of a body. Temperature is the measure of speed per molecule of all molecules of a body. Heat is the energy arising from random motion of all the molecules of a body. Heat is the energy arising from random motion of all the molecules of a body. The temperature of a body is the condition which determines its ability to transfer heat to other bodies or receive heat from them. In the system of two bodies, the one which loses heat to the other is said to be at higher temperature. Heat measures total molecular energy. Temperature measures average energy of individual molecules. Temperature is the characteristic of a body which determines the direction of heat flow by conduction. Temperature determines the direction of heat flow by conduction. Let's see what is air temperature and how it is distributed. Air temperature distribution. Each day, the Earth receives energy in the form of incoming solar radiation from the Sun. This short wave solar radiation ranges from ultraviolet to near infrared, that means 0.2 micrometers to 0.3 micrometers, but it reaches maximum around 0.5 microns wavelength, that is blue-green visible light. This insolation is absorbed by the Earth's surface and it is converted to heat, means the insolation whatever they received by the Earth's surface is converted into heat. The heat is nothing but long wave radiation. The Earth's long wave radiation reaches its peak at the intensity of 10 microns wavelength. This heat reaches its peak intensity at 10 microns wavelength and it is responsible for the heating up of lower atmosphere. Let's see the distribution of air temperature. There are two types of distribution of air temperature. They are horizontal temperature distribution and vertical temperature distribution. Let's discuss about the horizontal temperature distribution. Sun rays make angles at the different times at the same place. Sun rays make different angles at the same place at different times, means at the same place at different times the sun rays make different angles. At morning we get different angle, at noon we get different angle, and at evening we get different angle. Also the sun rays make different angles at the same time at different places, means for the same time, means for the morning 7 a.m. the angle of sun rays is different in Andhra Pradesh and different in Arunachal Pradesh. This is because as the axis of Earth makes an angle of 23 to 50 with the vertical. Due to the variation in the angles of sun rays, distribution of solar heat on the Earth decreases both away from equator to pole. When we move from equator to pole, the temperature decreases. This is known as horizontal distribution of air temperature. See, you can see here. In the equator, we are getting the hot temperature, and we are moving away from the equator. On both poles, we get cold temperature. And we will see what are isotherms. On maps, horizontal distribution of temperature is shown by isotherms. Isotherms are the imaginary lines drawn that connecting points that have equal temperature. Isotherms are the points that are connecting the equal temperatures. Next, we will see the factors influencing the horizontal distribution of temperature. The factors influencing the horizontal distribution of temperature are latitude, ocean currents, mountain barriers, topography and relief. Latitude, ocean currents, mountain barriers, topography and relief. Let's study about each and every factor in detail. Latitude. Generally, the temperature decreases from equator to pole, which is the horizontal example of horizontal distribution of temperature. This is because of the change in latitude. Next, ocean currents. Ocean currents distributes the temperature from one part of the ocean to another part of the ocean. This results in horizontal distribution of sea surface temperature. Mountain barriers. Mountains act as barriers, hence they create temperature variations. Example, Himalayas protects the India from the cold temperatures of North Pole. Topography and relief. North facing slopes generally receive less insolation, whereas south facing slopes receives high insolation and temperatures normally lower. Vertical distribution of temperature. The decrease of air temperature with altitude is known as vertical temperature distribution. With latitude means horizontal distribution of temperature. With altitude means vertical distribution of temperature. The decrease in air temperature with altitude is known as vertical temperature distribution. Example, permanent snow caps in higher mountains. Periodic variation. What do you mean by periodic variation? The air temperature changes continuously within a day or a year. This is known as periodic temperature variation. What do you mean by mean daily cycle of air temperature? From sunrise, insolation is supplied and the air temperature continuously arises. Maximum air temperature occurs between 1 pm to 4 pm and minimum just occurs before the sunrise. And we will see what is thermal lag. It means the time lag between the receiving of solar radiation and increasing of temperature is known as thermal inertia or thermal lag. For example, maximum insolation is received around 12 noon, but the temperature rises from 1 pm to 4 pm, means there is a 1 hour lag. This delay is known as thermal lag or thermal inertia. Let's see what do you mean by mean annual cycle of temperatures. The annual temperature changes from one location to another location. What do you mean by cardinal temperature? They are the 3 points of temperature which influences the growth of croplands, termed as cardinal points or cardinal temperatures. The 3 points of temperature which influences the crop growth is termed as cardinal point or cardinal temperature. We have 3 different points: our minimum point, optimum temperature and maximum temperature. At minimum temperature and maximum temperature the growth ceases, whereas at optimum temperature the growth is rapid. Let's see the example. For wheat and sorghum. For wheat, the minimum cardinal temperature is 0 to 5 degrees, optimum cardinal temperature is 25 to 31 degrees, and maximum cardinal temperature is 31 to 37 degrees. For sorghum, it is 15 to 18 is the minimum, 31 to 36 is the optimum, and 40 to 42 is the maximum cardinal temperature. Let's see the importance of air temperature on croplands. It influences the croplands and vegetation. It also influences the growth and development. It affects the leaf production, expansion and flowering. It also affects the physical and chemical process and also the biochemical process. Means for every 10 degree rise in temperature the rate of respiration doubles. It also influences the rate of diffusion of gases and liquids. And it also affects the stability of enzymes. That's all for now, friends. In today Green Coach classes we had learned what do you mean by temperature, what do you mean by heat, what do you mean by air temperature, distribution of air temperature. We discussed about the horizontal distribution of air temperature, vertical distribution of air temperature, factors influencing the horizontal distribution of air temperature. We also studied what is thermal lag and what is cardinal temperature and the importance of air temperature on croplands. That's all for now, friends. Thanks for subscribing to Green Coach classes. If you have any doubts, please comment them in the comment section. If you want to give us any suggestions, please comment them in the comment section. If you like our video, please hit the thumbs up. This is Varsha Subbarao along with Hottie Buddy signing off today. We'll update you soon with another video. Keep supporting us.